Now it's time for your 420 Radio News for Thursday, August 8th, 2013. I'm Russ Belville. CNN's Sanjay Gupta, Americans terribly and systematically misled about marijuana, from rawstory.com. CNN's Dr. Sanjay Gupta, a neurosurgeon, apologized on Wednesday for publicly opposing marijuana legalization, saying science was clearly on the side of the drug. Quote, "I think we have been terribly and systematically misled in this country for some time, and I did part of that misleading," he told CNN host Piers Morgan. Though studies on marijuana in the United States tended to focus on the drug's negative effects, Gupta explained, research from across the world has made marijuana's positive effects clear. He said there was, quote, "no scientific basis to claim marijuana had no medical benefits." Quote, "I think it is irresponsible of the medical community not to offer this as an alternative," Gupta added, citing the high rates of deaths from prescription drugs. "I could not find one case of overdose, of someone documented dying from a marijuana overdose," he concluded. And we will be covering Dr. Gupta and his work on the CNN documentary Weed that is coming out very soon on CNN. I believe it's this Sunday. Check your local listings for details. We will also have a post of that up on our blog at radicalruss.com. Doctors wanted for Georgia's medical marijuana law, this from Creative Loafing in Atlanta. In 1980, the Georgia General Assembly followed the lead of at least 16 other states and passed legislation allowing for the limited use of medical marijuana by people diagnosed with glaucoma and cancer patients undergoing chemotherapy and radiation. It was supported by then Lieutenant Governor Zell Miller and signed into law by Governor George Busbee. Under the law, the state created a program to study the effects of medical marijuana on cancer and glaucoma patients. The program was to be overseen by the Patient Qualification and Review Board, or PQRB. But Georgia's medical marijuana program soon faced a major problem when the legal supply of pot dried up. In 1982, the National Institute on Drug Abuse and the Drug Enforcement Administration stopped delivery of the country's sole source of legal cannabis. Georgia's program had effectively ended without ever supplying a single patient with the medical marijuana promised. But in 2010, a state appellate court ruled that the Georgia Composite Medical Board, not the governor, should appoint PQRB members. PQRB applications have been open since 2010, but only 3 have been received since then. If you're a medical professional and willing to volunteer your time, details about applying for an open seat are available on the board's website at medicalboard.georgia.gov. Legal fight brews on impairment in medical pot DUIs. This from ArizonaCentral.com. Medical marijuana cardholders in Arizona who drive after using the drug may be charged with DUI. Valley prosecutors say that any trace of marijuana in a driver's blood is enough to charge a motorist with driving under the influence of drugs, and that a card authorizing use of medical pot is no defense. The legal battle over the rights of medical marijuana cardholders to drive while medicating is being fought in the state's court system. Motorists convicted in municipal courts, which typically rule it unlawful for a driver to have any trace of marijuana in his or her blood, are appealing cases to the Superior Court, where judges' decisions could set precedents for how the medical marijuana law applies to Arizona drivers. Church members give parents kits to test for drugs, from WCPO.com. A local church wants to arm parents in Indiana with tools to keep their children drug-free. With a growing heroin epidemic in the tri-state, several organizations are working together by launching Protect Your Family, a program that distributes free drug test kits to parents. The kits were administered at Sunman Dearborn Intermediate School on Monday evening. Organizers said they hope to make an impression on 5th and 6th grade students because they start experimenting with drugs around age 13. Each kit contains a vial for a urine sample and instructions on how to read the results. The kits test for a presence of marijuana, methamphetamines, cocaine, painkillers, and other substances. Some parents have pushed back on drug testing because they say it violates children's rights. U.S. News Health reported false positives, confusing results, and cheating are several reasons why the test should be left up to professionals. Chilean psychiatrist leads crusade to legalize marijuana, from CNN.com. Dr. Milton Flores, age 58, is a psychiatrist in the South American country of Chile who is working to legalize marijuana. In March, police confiscated several of his plants, and he is now serving 18 months on probation. This has been your 420 Radio News for Thursday, August 8th, 2013. I'm Russ Belville. When we come back, we go behind the headlines and look at the Nevada medical marijuana program, where legislators there are hoping to triple the number of medical marijuana patients in order to raise money for the state. You're listening to The Russ Belville Show on 420radio.org. We'll be right back.